At the start of this year, I posted a video about how to love motherhood, and I said that it all comes down to one thing: boundaries. Well, after some reflection, I realized there's actually more to the story. So here I am making yet another video about how to love motherhood, this time focusing on a practice I have been working on for the past 5 years: self-compassion. I'm Kirsten, and I spend my days processing grief and healing while staying kind, cozy, and courageous. Before we start talking about how to practice self-compassion in motherhood, let's break down what self-compassion even means. Self-compassion is the practice of extending compassion towards oneself, offering kindness, gentleness, softness, and understanding when perceiving ourselves. Recognizing that we don't need to judge ourselves based on arbitrary expectations and timelines. Recognizing that life's path is not linear and falling down is a part of getting back up. One of my friends, Shalene, has taught me so much about offering self-compassion to our bodies, specifically about listening to our bodies when they are communicating with us, when they are asking to connect us with our truest selves, when they are asking us to slow down and rest, when they are reminding us to pay closer attention to the parts of our bodies we might have been neglecting, when they are affirming our intuition, when they are teaching us about the ancestors that continue to live within us. Self-compassion is so important for marginalized communities because it helps us navigate the oppression we face, offering a loving care practice to help us survive systems of power. And this is why I feel that self-compassion is so needed in motherhood. The world is not built to support mothers. From our pregnancies to our births to our caregiving journeys, we are consistently met with medical systems that disregard our bodies, family and friends who offer unsolicited judgments and opinions, and partners who fail to contribute equally in our households. And it's so important that we offer ourselves self-compassion when experiencing these hardships, to remind us that we deserve better, to give ourselves the love that we are not yet receiving from others, to demonstrate the ways we need to be supported, and to help build a life where our circles of care show up for us. So how do we practice self-compassion? Well, I think each of us has to decide that for ourselves based on our individual needs. But I'm going to share a few things that I do every day to practice self-compassion and build a loving relationship with my motherhood journey. Number 1 on my list is lowering my expectations for myself. I am not trying to be a perfect mom. I am not trying to be a super mom. If I'm being honest, I'm not even trying my best. I am way too tired for that. I am way too tired to even want that, because I am experienced enough to know that the expectations society sets for mothers are unattainable. So why waste my time and energy? Instead, I expect myself to do the bare minimum. I'm actually not joking. When we decided to transition our baby from taking day naps on us to taking day naps in their bassinet, I expected us to successfully get them to sleep in their bassinet for a minute for the first 2 weeks. Then it increased to 5 minutes for the next 2 weeks. And after a month, even though they were sleeping for 45 minutes sometimes in their bassinet, my expectation was 15 minutes. So on some days, I would be exceeding my expectation, which felt amazing. And on other days, when they would only last 15 minutes in their bassinet, I was still meeting my expectations, which felt like a win. And even on the days when my baby was going through a tough phase and they only lasted 5 minutes in the bassinet, I wouldn't be disappointed because I was like, well, it's only 10 minutes away from my expectation, so it doesn't feel that bad. Setting low expectations took so much pressure away from parenting, and it also prevented me from setting myself up for failure. I never planned to do anything that took more than 15 minutes while my baby was sleeping. So I didn't feel like I wasn't getting things done the whole day. And on the days when I would feel a little anxious because I really wanted to get certain things done, but I knew I wouldn't be able to until much later that day when my partner came home, I would just sit with my planner and break tasks into smaller 15-minute tasks so that I could get a portion of things done while my baby was sleeping. But I always planned according to the 15-minute window and nothing more. Number 2 is pausing before implementing something new into my baby's and my schedule. In parenthood, we're met with so many narratives about the most mindful way to parent our baby and the milestone our baby needs to be achieving and how we should be spending our day to ensure our baby's development is on track. And it's so tempting to jump right into whatever we're being sold because of the fear and anxiety a lot of parents have about not being a quote unquote good parent. And it's ironic because listening to our fear and anxiety is actually what takes us away from being good parents. What we need instead is to ground ourselves in our intuition. So whenever I feel the need to add something into my baby's and my schedule, I pause and I ask myself the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this thing to me? 10 being, this thing deserves all of my time and energy every single day. If the thing is not at least a 5 on that scale, I just let it go. If the thing is a 5 or above, I write it down on a piece of paper and paste it on my wall. And over the next week, every time I look at it, I reflect on whether this thing is still that important to me. And if after a week I still care about it, I find ways to slowly implement it into my babies and my schedule. One thing about motherhood, your time and energy becomes priceless. So if I'm going to spend my time and energy on something, it better be worth my while. Number 3 is receiving feedback from my baby. The moment birthing parents get pregnant, before even birthing the baby, everyone has an overflow of opinions on how they should parent their child. And it's so hard to distance ourselves from their opinions because we do want to be good parents and we want to be open to receiving advice on this thing that some of us have never done before. But let's not forget the most important opinion that we should be paying attention to: our babies. They know better than anyone the kind of parent we are and the ways that we can better show up for them. When it comes to me being a parent, my baby's opinion is the one I care about the most. And so I make it a point to check in with them continuously throughout the day to make sure that I'm supporting them the way they need to be supported. And let me tell you the things I have learned from this practice. When I felt exhausted at the end of a day, my baby held my hand during their last feed, thanking me for feeding them 3 more times than usual that day. And when I felt stressed about money because of my choice to be a stay-at-home mom, my baby giggled with me for 15 minutes straight, reminding me that the quality time I get with them is worth it. When I felt disappointed in myself for not being able to get out of bed until the afternoon, my baby rolled for the first time, enjoying the extra time she got on the bed to practice moving her limbs. When I miscalculated my baby's needs and ended up not having the time to take them for a shower, they snuggled up against me, telling me that there's no place they'd rather be. As moms, it's so easy to forget how many things we do every single day to make sure our baby stays alive. And then on top of that, feels loved and safe. And that's why it's so important for us to listen to our babies when they're trying to tell us all of the things we're doing right. I think this is a good place to end my video. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you're a mom, I hope one of these practices inspires you to bring self-compassion into your own journey of motherhood. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll like checking these out as well. That's all for now. Bye!